What is going on, guys? It is cold. My radiator in my Jeep JK has started to leak, and I'm just gonna make a quick video on what I'm doing and the install process for my new Mishimoto radiator that I just picked up. My coolant range has been between 192 to like 215. And we're at 194 right now. Seems normal operating temp is between 195, 203, somewhere in there. So we're going to see what this new radiator does as far as keeping it cool, how much cooler. Stay tuned, keep in touch, and yeah, subscribe if you want to see more Jeep videos. Let me know. Sorry, my finger's been in the way. I'm driving, filming. You can yell at me in the comments. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see more Jeep videos. Let me know down there what you want to see. So here we go. Here's the leak. So I just parked. It's me backing in. It's kind of getting wet. Kind of making some drips. Right in here, somewhere. Right down this side. So yeah, so we're gonna tear all that apart. And train horns. Got our radiator. Hoses. I've got my overflow hose, and I bought an oil catch can that we're going to be installing. So let's get this radiator open. So let's go get the Jeep in here and get this in it. Alright, well, we got the Jeep in the garage, so let's disconnect the battery and start pulling the grill apart. Now, if you got a winch like I do, it might be in the way of you getting your grill out. I've done this a few times, so I know mine will fit. Alright, so we got it draining out, and it likes to go all over the place, so we're just going to try and deflect it a little with some paper towel. It's going to soak it, but... So while that drains, we'll go ahead and get this overflow tank off. It appears to just be held on by these push tabs. I think it's just slid in there. We'll get this hose off. We'll just slid into a groove. Slide it up and out, and that's all that was in it. I think next will be the cooling lines. So let's get those pinched off here. And we're replacing them, so normally I would just take this off like that and leave it, but since we're getting all new lines, spill as little as possible. Alright, I'm trying to make it so you guys can see too. Alright, lower hose is off. Up there. Alright, there is a zip tie. Well, we've got an answer for that. Alright, now it looks like we unbolt the whole thing. We gotta unplug the fan. Alright, 10 millimeter, and let's get it. Speed up the process. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is take off your transmission cooler, oil cooler assembly, 8 millimeter and a 10 millimeter, and it's 4 volts. Alright, it is right down in there, right on the side. I don't know if that makes sense with how I'm twisting the camera, but you'll get the gist. There, it's right in there. There is just no easy way of getting at this. Got it. Alright, we're after a bolt. So right down in here. So alright, now that we got that off, I'm going to take off this fan shroud, 8mm, two up top that I can see, and then more when there's resistance. Basically you're just dismantling, and anytime you come into resistance, carefully check it out, see what you need. It's going to be 8mm, 10mm, one of those. Go ahead and lose that on the bench. See how many spare parts we come up with after this. We want to be careful with the fan because we are reusing that. Alright, let's see what else. Looks like there's something on the bottom. What do we got? Is there 3? Oh, it just pulls right up. Check all the wires. And there's our fan. So yeah, it just slides into a little groove. Alright, we'll be careful with that and set that aside. Alright guys, we got it. I think we're ready. Definitely been waiting for this. So stock radiator, horrible leaking. Let's pull it out. Nice and carefully, like I said, if you get met with any resistance, stop and look. Alright, got a little resistance. What am I missing? I've got a bolt. Alright, yay. Let's get that bolt out. Alright. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's make sure nothing falls. And there's all these plastic tabs on here that you got to be careful of. Gotta weasel it around. And there it is. It is much bigger. Can't wait to get this in. Alright, let's get it prepped. Let's get the fan on. Alright, with that old one out of the way, let's get this new one in. Slide it in carefully, and as always, any resistance, stop. Also check your drain plug on this. They come from the factory a little loose. Don't forget your rubber bushings. Is what yeah. So I can blur all this out and speed it up so that way it. Here now. There. Careful up there, okay?
Why is it leaking so much?
So Mishimoto gives you a bag of bolts, but you're going to want to reuse your stock upper radiator bolts.
So then you can do it, right?
That's going to be a 10 millimeter. Always a fun part when you get to switch the wrench over to tighten. Go ahead and get it tightened down. And then you're done. Just kidding.
Why aren't you done?
Well, we got a lot to do. I had to back the upper bolts off. It seems like it's off just a little bit. I read in all the reviews that one of the holes is just a little off. It is. It's this upper right one of the transmission cooler. Make sure you use Loctite. Take your time and use Loctite. Loctite the heck out of it. We'll come over here. Lift it up into place. Keep going nice and tight. Alright, so now those are on, we gotta get this side one on.
Okay.
It was harder than it needed to be. Snug these up for the 5th time. Alright, now that those are done, now we can put this one on. So now we got to put 1, 2, and 3 back on. Alright, well that's on. Then we got the fan. What? Alright, so now what we're going to do though before the fan is get these Mishimoto radiator hoses on. This would be the lower, and this would be the upper. Put your clamps on first, don't forget that. Make sure you drop test them. Take your 9:30 seconds. There it is. Plug our fan motor back in. Make sure the connections are clean. The hose clears, we're into the groove on the bottom. Alright, now that we got this on, let's go ahead and install the overflow. And it just slides right into these little plastic grooves. Make sure you're in on both. And the push pin. So that's on. We'll connect the overflow hose, and for that we got some 8mm silicone tubing. And I think we're just going to zip tie it up here. Go one step further and make sure it's not going to come off, and get these little clamps I got. Alright, so I've already started to put the air box back on. We're just going to go ahead and get this done. I'm going to bang out the air filter first though. Alright, I'm done. We don't need the zip ties. We'll just go right into the stock housing here. Oh, that looks great! Look at that. Make sure you connect your PCV hose, your oxygen sensor, Alright, let's get some fluid in it and burp it. Alright, so now you can go back and install this on there if you want, but I want to leave it open. I like the look, so I took the sticker off here and just relocated it to the air box. Just says the refrigerant, how many pounds, don't put your hand in the fan, and a barcode. So do that. I'm going to leave the grill off for now. Just easier to look at everything without it on there. Get the battery connected back and fill it up with some coolant. Yeah, fill it up and then turn it on and make sure your heat is full blast, so that way when your thermostat opens up, you know, all the coolant's getting used. It's going through the entire system, and and then it'll suck it down. Keep pouring it in until it stays hot and it's up top. Make sure your overflow is put where it needs to, and then you're done. Listen, I know it's not Mopar, it's O'Reilly's, alright? They're a mile from my house and that's what I'm using. So this is burping. So I got the heat on full blast. We're gonna run her. She's gotta come up to temperature. While it's cold though, we're gonna fill that reservoir up to the cold line. Alright, so here's burping. Still see what it's doing inside, what it's saying. Alright. Alright, we're only at 152. It's blowing cold. Just gotta burp down. We'll just keep doing that. Keep burping it. Alright, we'll cut you here. I think I'll update you when the temperature warms up. 215. Still staying in the normal range over there though. So 217. When does it turn on? Alright, we're holding steady at 194, blowing hot air. What it was, I just had to put the cap back on. I needed the pressure. So 1.3 bar, 19 pounds. I think stock is 13 or 17, but this does run a higher pressure. We'll just keep an eye on our coolant level there. I put it to the mark. I don't know if it's full when cold or hot. It says it on the bottle. I didn't look, but that's what it has an overflow for. but it's just steaming off all the stuff I spilled. But I wiped it down. Let's go ahead and I'll get the we'll get the grill back on. I'm not putting the insert in. I want to keep this as cold as possible. I don't know if that caused overheating or not. I'm just not even going to let it be a factor, so we're not putting the insert in, but I will go ahead and get this capped up. I replaced the hoses and the radiator. So when I filled it, it took a whole gallon is empty, and this one is pretty empty. A lot of it did end up on the floor though. So I'd say you buy 2 gallons, you're good. I bought 3. I'm gonna keep it. You never know when you're gonna need coolant. Again, this is what I used. Go ahead and let me know in the comments that my engine's gonna gum up. I understand, but that's what I got. I didn't go get the Mopar stuff, so this is what I've been running in my Jeep. It's the 3.6 Pentastar. It's a junk motor anyways, so really just pissing the damn radiator will be better. But yeah, she's hot now, so it's definitely cycling through, and I've got heat. Yep, 194 still. So I revved on it when I was in there, and it got up to 197, went back down. All right, go ahead and get this grill on.